Welcome to Gentleman's Oracle, everyone. I'm your host, The Oracle, and today we're going to talk about something that we hear a lot about on the internet. Fragrances that drive women wild, but they're always theoretical. Well, today I'm going to discuss 5 fragrances that I wore that actually did drive women wild. If you want to know what they are, stay tuned. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please help the Oracle out. All right, so we're gonna get started, guys. Let's get right into it. I don't want this to be too long of a video. So we're gonna start with the first one. And this one right here, no one really talks about it anymore. And it is an OG banger. And I'll be honest with you, some of you guys watching it, your daddies was probably wearing it when they got you. But it still works and it's still fantastic. And that is none other than Givenchy Pi, one of Alberto Marias's classic. What this scent is a powdery vanilla scent. And guys, I know it's an old school scent, but it still drives women wild. Ladies, please put in the comments your experiences with this. One of my experiences are, I wrote this on a date, and I was hugging a girl, and she just kind of moved in my neck. She smelled, she's like, wow, what's that smell? She's like, and then all of a sudden she just dove and kissed me. And I was like, whoa, wow. Not gonna lie, I was a little taken aback by it. But this was the smell, guys, Givenchy Pi. Now there's a caveat on this one. I might need to do a video on talk about spraying, but this is not an overspraying one. 4 sprays max. It's designed to be subtle and sensual. And so what that means is that you don't want to overspray, because what happens with this one, the more you spray, there's a benzoin in there, aroma chemical, that it kind of alters a little bit. And a lot of scents operate like that. I know there's this kind of rule of overspraying, but actually you have to wear a scent according to the way it's designed. Might end up doing a video on that. But 4 sprays max, keep it subtle, but it's that subtle vanilla powdery scent. It will bring women into you and it will drive them wild. Givenchy Pi. The second one is one that I don't think I've ever seen on anybody's driving wild list. And this one, I have a pretty wild story with this one, but let's go with it. What is it? It is Nishane Hacivat. I know what you're thinking, and this is a freshie. How on earth does this drive women wild? Let me tell you what my experience. In one of my other videos, I talked about when I wore this, the girl said she wanted to lick my neck. So that's one experience with it. But what I didn't tell you guys about was I actually wore this one on one of those speed dating things where if you ever saw 40-Year-Old Virgin, you go and you meet a bunch of people at once, right? And at the end of it, you say who you'd like to meet up with, and they say who they like to meet up with it. And so what was weird about mine was that I ended up, there were 10 girls, 10 guys. Out of the 10 girls, 9 of them actually wanted to go out with me. I ended up going out with like 5 of them. But I did ask, because I was a little shocked at those percentages myself. I asked them, I said, well, what made you kind of attracted to me? All 5 said it was the way you smelled. What was I wearing? Nishane Hacivat. It just is what it is, guys. And you know, the lick in the neck, it just works, guys. It just works. Now, caveat. This is a 2022 batch, so it is a newer batch. Now, this is also a parfum extrait. And this thing smells so good, guys. What is it? You get pineapple, you get patchouli, you get oak moss with a little bit of spices. This thing smells really good. Now, it is a parfum extrait, which what that means is that it's a high oil concentration, which means it is a lot more sensitive to your pH in your skin. So sometimes when you wear it, the oak moss is going to come out stronger. Sometimes the pineapple is going to come out stronger. You kind of don't know. It just really depends how it's going to mix with your skin chemistry for that day. The day that happened was definitely a creamy pineapple day. And man, it worked. That's all I can tell you. This thing right here drove the women wild and got me 5 dates. Nishane Hacivat. Another one that honestly has been overlooked lately, and it's one of my favorite scents in the world. It's been my go-to date scent for quite a while, and I just love it. It is none other than Azzaro's Most Wanted EDT, and it is you get a toffee fresh scent. And guys, the parfum is nice, but the toffee note in here is what makes this thing so amazing. And you know, one of the things people like gourmands is there's an edible aspect to it. And this one is not gourmandy, but just enough of that toffee makes it, it brings them in closer, guys. And that's what you want. You know, a lot of guys like to put on these Sauvage, these heavy ambroxan. Guys, just to be mindful, you know, she's not gonna wanna get close to you if you're blasting her in the nose with ambroxan. You want a subtle scent. You want something that'll make her get closer to you, to smell you. Remember, sexiness is always smooth and subtle. It's never loud and boisterous. So anyway, Azzaro's Most Wanted. My story with this one was, I think I put it in one of the other videos, the Russian model. Went out, I wore this one. We went out on a date, and I was wearing Guerlain parfum. That's another baby mama right there. I love that one. But this one was on the night date, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but she just basically had her head in my neck the whole time. And, you know, it drove her wild. So, Azzaro's Most Wanted EDT. Put it in the list, guys. If you don't have it, you gotta have it. All right. Another one, I love to talk about this. You've heard the stories. Heck, this goes all the way back to Jeremy Fragrance, okay? But it is what it is. Guerlain's L'Homme Ideal EDT. I've got multiple stories for this one. This is one of the first niche scents I bought when I first got into fragrances. And what is it? It's cherry, it's leather, it's spicy. You've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it again. It is sex in a bottle. If you do not have this, get it. It's becoming discontinued. I think they reformulated it, but they rebottled it. I know they did that. It doesn't matter. You gotta have it. It's a must-have in your collection, guys. I've got so many stories with this one. I think I told you about the ex who all of a sudden was nice to me after this. I did have the other story about the girl wanting to lick my arm. This thing does something to women. I don't know what it does, guys. I don't know. Another thing, don't put like heavy spray this one. It so projects. This is like again, 4 sprays max. Really 3 sprays is about what I do, because again, you want it to bring them in. Man, but when they get a whiff of this, man, I can't even tell y'all some of the stories I had with this one. So you gotta get this one, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal, Eau de Parfum. And last but not least, one of my favorite scents, actually one of the first ones I bought when I really got into collecting. It does not get the love it deserves. It is an absolute phenomenal scent. I don't care what anybody else says. It is Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Toilette. And this was my signature scent for a while, because this thing delivered. Went out with a girl with this one, and we were hugging, and she just held me like she didn't want to let me go. And she kept commenting all throughout the day how good I smelled. And then she just bared her head and just would not let me go. This did that. Not the Eau de Parfum, not the Reserve Privé. I do like the Boisé, though. That's a good one too. But it didn't do that either. It was the Eau de Toilette, the OG of this one. If you don't have this in the collection, get it. And I know you guys, well, everybody in Fragcom says get the EDT. Listen to someone who's warned them, okay? I'm telling you actual events that happened where these scents drove women wild. Do you want theory or do you want facts? The Oracle deals in facts. This needs to be in your collection. What is it? It's an iris-based scent with spices and with that pear. And oh man, I gotta spray it. The pear is what brings them in, guys. I've said this once, I've said this again. This scent is so utilized. You guys have got to get this scent in your collection. I could do many more, but those are the 5 I want to talk about because they're not talked about a lot and they deliver the results. You get these 5 cents and you are good. You've got one for every spring, summer, fall, winter. You got one for a day date. You got one for a night date. You got one for every different age group. These 5, if you want to drive women crazy or drive women wild, not drive them crazy, please don't do that, but drive them wild, get these 5 cents and you are set, guys. That's all I've got today. I really appreciate you guys. Please like, please subscribe, and Oracle out.